You are listening to Castles and Cryptids, where the castles are haunted and the cryptids are cryptic AF. I'm Alanna.
I'm Kelsey.
And we are coming at you with episode 73, India Crimes.
Yeah.
What? Yep, going back to Asia.
Yeah.
We've done Japan, we've done China, and we have a lot of listeners in India. They're
Yeah,
like
we
top
do.
5
I think
lately
so.
or something. Yeah, although it depends because sometimes they count the UK, which
Oh,
really is like 3 countries, but they will have
yeah.
it counted as one. You know, that's
Yeah.
Anchor for you. But
Yeah.
we thought we would do some crimes from there. Lots of people, surely there's lots of crime.
Yes. Definitely lots of people.
Mm-hmm. And when you're living with a lot of people, you get a little antsy.
Yeah.
You want to kill a few people. Um, not because I left the toilet seat up. I'm the one more
Yeah.
likely to leave like a cabinet door open. One time I told Pat, I don't know, it depends. If I think I'm going back in there in a couple minutes, I'll probably just leave the pantry door ajar. I don't care. He's like, oh, it's you. You leave the cupboard doors open.
Yeah. Gordo gets into stuff immediately if I leave it open.
Oh, then you
Like,
gotta be so strict with yourself.
yeah.
Shut it. Yep.
I have contemplated like baby proofing my house at this point because
Oh, damn.
I have hand weights like that are on the
Yeah.
floor of my kitchen that stop the cupboards from being able to be opened. Certain ones, like I guess they call it like a lazy Susan, like that middle kind of
Oh, yeah.
awkward cupboard. It like opens out and then it you can like turn it. It's
Right. Yeah, it has a
yeah.
rotating kind of shelf.
I
Yeah.
have a weight that's tall enough that it blocks the cupboard. Then I have one that's under the drawer under my stove. I have one that's blocking that because he's obsessed with trying to open that. And then I have I have rubber bands on the
Damn.
doors under the sink, so he can't get at that. I have a twist tie that connects the oven door to the cupboard right beside it, so that he can't open that cupboard because he can't open the oven door. It's too heavy.
That does sound like baby proofing.
Yeah. So I was
Just
like,
homemade.
yeah. I was like, maybe I should invest in some proper, like, baby proofing and I'll just, or brand my own, start a business and call it Gordo Proof. And then just
Yeah, totally.
have
Oh
videos
my
of
God.
Gordo not being able to open things and then sell 1 million of them because if he can't open it, nobody can. Like,
Well, sometimes I call our dog a little Houdini, and Gordo
yeah.
sounds like a little Gordo
Well, the one
Houdini.
day, even the weight I put in front of the stove is probably, it's at least 5 or 10 pounds. And he was making eye contact with me with one day, and he put his arm out, he hooked his paw underneath it and just rolled it across the floor and then opened the thing as I was staring at him. And I was like, you little fucker. You little
Or as he was
asshole.
staring down at you, like, fuck you.
Yeah. And I was like, how are your little arms so strong? You just rolled that weight across the floor. Like, oh. And it's not a rounded
Yeah.
weight. It's like almost, was it like a kind of hexagonal? So it's kind of got like the sides, the 5 sides
Yeah.
to it. So I mean, it
Right.
can roll like a little bit, but it's not like it was just rolling and rolling. You had to kind of,
No.
a bit of momentum was needed. Yeah.
They have some muscles, but they're not that muscular. They're not as
Yeah.
bad as, like, the hairless cats aren't as bad as those hairless chimps we looked at.
Oh, no. Purge from my mind.
But there
Oh.
was a hairless cat, speaking of, on it's just an Instagram account that's like the horror gallery, and it had a bunch of pets, yeah, dressed
Oh.
up as, like, it was cats and dogs dressed up as, like, Joe Exotic from the Tiger King,
Oh, God.
Suicide Squad, what's her name? The girl there with the bat and the short shorts.
Oh,
It
Harley
was
Quinn?
it. Yeah, it was a Chihuahua, as Harley Quinn.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
And yeah, and then there was someone as like Pennywise and whatever.
Nice.
And I was like, oh yes, definitely one of my favorite. My favorite one I said was the Joe Exotic, and then the second favorite I said was it's from the Fifth Element. It was they were dressed
Mm.
up. It was a like a white pug dressed up as Lilu, with a
Oh,
multi pass hanging from around their neck. And I was like, and multi pass.
nice.
I know. I commented as Castles and Cryptids, and someone was like, "Oh my god, I didn't even notice that was the like Tiger King." She said. I
Oh,
was like,
that's
"Yeah,
pretty
it was
cool.
the hair that did it for me. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
hairless cat with a
Oh,
mullet wig,
wig. Yes.
beside a little stuffed tiger wearing like this, collar open, printed animal print shirt or whatever."
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That sounds great. That'd be cool.
Yes. Yeah, that was things I saw on Instagram this week.
I have Gordo. I want to buy him. It's either going to be probably a cat or a dog bow tie. Or maybe a small, like, child's bow tie. I just want a bow tie. I don't care if he destroys it 2 minutes after I put it on him. I just want it for a few pictures and then I'll leave him alone forever. But I really want to put a bow tie on him.
Yeah, it would be cute. It would
Yeah.
be cute. I've definitely seen some cute cats dressed up, like the
Yeah.
one that you used to follow that was always wearing those knitted shark
Nala.
caps and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I follow her whole family on Instagram. There's 3 or 4 cats and then 2 dogs. There's at
Oh
least
my
one
god.
dog. There's Spencer. They have, uh, yeah, Nala. There's Luna. Um,
Oh, cute
oh shit.
names.
Yeah, there's like 4 cats and a dog. And then they have another type of animal. I can't remember what it is, but so cute. They all have Instagram accounts.
Aw.
I
There's
follow
a
the whole
Nala.
family.
Okay. Yes, our Instagram family, West London Witch, who always likes our posts and comments. And if I'm not mistaken, her little black dog's name is Nala,
Oh,
possibly Nala Rose. She's
that's so
so
cute.
cute with her little black curls. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
the name Nala. It's
Oh,
cute.
yeah. I think all of us who grew up with The Lion King did.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because that's the person that first commented said Lion King, and then they said, "Oops, I mean Tiger King," and I was like, I knew what you meant."
Yeah. No, that's
Ugh.
fun.
Anyway, did we talk last week? Because we talked a lot.
Yeah.
It was a long one, but I think we didn't like mention much about how there was true crime shit going on in Canada. That was like we didn't
Yeah.
have time to get into it. Not that we do want to get into it, but I feel like we're Canadian, so maybe people don't know or whatever that there was like this stabbing spree that was in our
Yeah.
news.
So
It was pretty
scary.
crazy. Yeah, for Canada, it's like you're used to hearing, unfortunately, and I know but it's not your fault, American listeners, but you're used to hearing about it in the States with the shootings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we had like a stabbing spree with these 2 dudes out of Saskatchewan, and it was like everybody
Yeah.
was on high alert. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was pretty
they
nuts.
had put alerts out. They thought they might have gone to Alberta or
Yeah.
Manitoba and were like trying to flee the province, but doesn't seem like they did in the end. They're
No, but we're not that far away.
no. But yeah.
Could have easily within a day gotten to Alberta because
Oh yeah,
yeah, we
for
border
sure.
Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm.
We got that one city that's almost like, what is it, Kansas City? Because it's in Missouri and Kansas or whatever. We have that city. It's called Lethbridge. It's half in
Yeah.
Alberta, half in Saskatchewan. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, at least they caught him finally now by the time we're airing this and stuff. It was It was like the same week that the Queen died and all that shit. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah, they caught the one guy and the other guy. Did they confirm he had committed suicide? Is that what they're
The first one
saying?
they found dead of injuries, and yeah, I was like, wait, did his accomplice kill him? And then I heard they were maybe brothers. They were definitely close, so then I wasn't sure. But the second one, yeah, had inflicted, like, self-inflicted wounds at the time of
Oh.
getting put into custody. So
Oh, okay. That's who they were
he,
talking about.
yeah, I believe he died uh, getting, you know what I mean? Like, he probably didn't
Yeah.
want to be tried, so he, like, killed himself somehow when the police were trying to nab him, something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
feel bad for oh, it seems like there was something going on. They might like figure out what it was, but I feel bad for all the families because it was random
mm-hmm.
attacks. They were just basically across the province,
Yeah.
like kind of picking up and just driving, and then would hop out of the vehicle and just stab three people, and then jump back in the vehicle 2 minutes later and drive to a different spot, and then attack a few more people.
Yeah, just very violent people, and you're like, okay, well, then this is like this many people shooting or stabbing or whatever
Yeah,
everywhere. Is it like just a mental health
yeah,
pandemic, or can you call it that when you get these spurts of places? Yeah, and we don't expect it in Canada, but they don't expect it in all the little towns in America either. And then it
yeah.
happens at someone's school, and they're like, well, this is where we should feel safe. It's just like, oh my God, like, this is obviously such a deeper issue than just the gun control and things, but
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it was
it still
scary. I
sucks to
think
see.
I think
Yeah.
they said close to 30 people were attacked and 15 or something had died. 10 or
Okay.
15.
It was
Like,
definitely at least 10 that died. I remember that,
yeah.
but now that we're recording, I don't remember the exact numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't either. Um, yeah,
Pretty
scary.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely our hearts go out to those families. Like, that shit is ongoing, and I can't even
Yeah.
imagine what everyone's going through there. Like, they were just so happy to hear that he was caught. That was one thing. It's like you're from an area where you knew they were from,
Yeah.
or where the attack started. Like, you're just terrified. It's like
Mhm.
knowing a serial killer is on the loose in your town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a spree killer, but it's still a killer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's why we talk about cases that are not ongoing.
Mhm.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier to handle. But I just thought we should say something about it. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah. But then we have true crime this week, so there's nothing to pull us out of this depressing pit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mine is not happy. It is dark. I'm sorry about it.
Mine's actually not too bad. Uh,
No.
no. I
Okay, okay. I'm like, should we flip a coin?
I can go first. If you'd like. I have some different facts I looked up about India. Um,
Oh,
as
like fun
well.
facts?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. And then I can bring us all down at the end.
Why not?
All right. You know us. We'll find the funny somewhere if we
Oh yeah.
can, in a way that's not hurtful to
Yeah.
the victims. Yeah.
So we'll start with the fun facts. Um,
Okay.
these were
Yay.
from a few different lists that I looked up. What were these? There was. Oh, I apparently only felt the need to look up or include one of the websites. It was onelifeadventures.com, and it had a list of 15 amazing facts about India that you need to know. I took a couple from there, and then some were from other sites. But
I mean, okay. How dare
yeah.
you not source cite your
I
sources?
know. I was like, I think I looked at 3 different sites and I only listed one of them. Uh,
Yeah, because they all have the same ones.
yeah. Yeah, basically.
It
Um,
happens.
so the first one was just, we had talked about it just having so many people. Well,
Hmm.
India has approximately 1/6 of the world's population.
Oh
Which I,
God.
yeah,
And
one
they are
sixth.
they even in the top 10 of country size?
Ooh, I don't know about that. Um,
I will
it said,
consult the Google.
yeah. It also said that India is the second most populous country after China. So they have.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
God damn. Well, China is in the they're okay, yeah, I was gonna say usually when you look it up I see them as either 3 or 4 for land size, so that's not too bad, but
Oh, okay.
you still hear about it being pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, okay. When I just Google it quickly, they're like one, two, three, four, five, six, seventh for
Okay.
size. All right, all right.
I mean, after Russia and Canada, it starts getting pretty small, like immediately. But
Yeah, US
yeah.
is comparable, China, and then we got Brazil, then Australia. I guess it's it okay, Japan, where we do have some listeners too. Hi guys, konnichiwa. Um they have a lot of space problems too, don't they? Because you hear about like the
Mm,
pod hotels in Tokyo and stuff like that, and
yeah.
just tiny little apartments where I've seen people convert. They're like, here's the dining area, and then they like slide a wall across and it's gone. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so whole lot of people. Uh they're also famous for the Holi festival or Holy festival. This is the Hindu festival that takes place over 2 days. It originated in India and celebrates love, spring, and new life.
Ooh.
Usually celebrated in March as it marks the end of winter and the arrival of spring. Uh,
Yay.
yeah, during the first day, people gather around a bonfire to celebrate good triumphing over evil. And the second day is said to be the most popular one that people know, and that's the like powder, paint, water pistols, and balloons, all the colorful things that they do. So that's that one. The it's called the they it's commonly known as the Festival of Colors. That one.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's the second
Festival
day
of
of the
Colors.
festival. Um, yeah,
That
they
does sound
do.
fun.
Yeah, they do all the colored powders. I think they had it in Sense8. I think they did it in one of the scenes.
Oh
Uh,
man, they do a
yeah.
lot of parades.
Yeah.
Especially because they're 8 people sharing one conscious and they're from all around the world.
Yeah, I think they do it as part of one of this parade, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there one in yeah, South America somewhere? I don't know.
Yeah, they did the Sao Paulo Pride Parade too in that one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Uh
Sexy time.
yeah. Uh Also interesting that I didn't associate India with this, but it's home to the wettest inhabited place on Earth.
Oh my god.
When I think
The
India,
wettest?
yeah,
Okay.
uh, the village of Mashainram is found
Nailed
in
it.
the northeast India and has an average rainfall of around 12,000 millimeters or 470 inches of rain a year. That works out to nearly 33
Oh,
millimeters of rain per day. It's
okay.
It basically
I mean,
looked
I
like
kind
a
of get millimeters because we're
yeah.
Canadian, but it does seem like 33 couldn't, wouldn't that be like 3.3 centimeters?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why wouldn't you just say that? Then I can think, okay,
Right?
centimeters.
Yeah, I don't know why they always count it in millimeters. Uh, yeah.
They're so small.
Yeah.
Millimeters are tiny.
The 10. It's also said that it's so wet there. When I saw pictures on the thing,
Sorry.
it basically looked like just a permanent mist, like it was near the Niagara Falls or something. Like it just like, psh, like the sky was just mist.
Ooh.
It said that it's so wet that people who work outdoors tend to wear full body umbrellas made from banana leaves and bamboo. Um,
Well,
so that's
full
intense.
body umbrellas. Wouldn't that be like a raincoat
Coat? Yeah, I don't
deal?
know. They make their own, I
Okay.
guess? Yeah.
I've seen backpack umbrellas where they like stick up
That's
out of the
cool.
back. Yeah, and then you don't
Never
have to
heard of
hold
that.
it. It was it sounds cool, but they also like they were very pointy towards the front. Kind of
Hmm.
like, you know how cyclists have those helmets that are kind of very aerodynamic looking and
Oh,
pointy
yeah.
towards the front and stuff. Yeah, especially the racing cyclists. It was like that, and it reminded me of like the really pointy guy's head in that the horror movie based on that video game. Fuck. He's got a big triangular head. Sorry, Silent Hill. I knew it would come to me.
Oh,
The guy, he's got a big triangular head, and he's got a metal thing on it, and he like drags his big ass weapon behind him.
oh,
That's what it reminded me of. Because my mind went to a dark place.
I just watched that movie like last month for the first time and
Oh
I
my
do not
god.
remember this already. Okay.
What? I don't know. They really recreated on a few things.
Yeah.
Anyway, isn't that a creepy movie? Did you find any of it creepy? Like, you remember when they have to go
No.
through the room and it's almost like there's mannequins all around, and then she looks around because some of them are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
start moving and stuff. Ugh,
That
shit.
and the kids were creepy. Like the
Yeah.
yeah, that was about it. I don't know. I wasn't really I was half paying attention to it. Like I was listening to it, but I think I was browsing Facebook while I was watching it or something.
Like, oh,
But
now
I
someone's getting
really
killed by a bunch of thorny chains going up into her body. It's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. I did like the cop though. She was pretty cool.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, she's the
yeah.
badass blonde that's also in
Yeah.
Walking Dead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought she kind of looked
Yeah.
familiar. Okay.
Yeah, she's like Andrea in The Walking Dead. Anyway,
Yeah.
we digress.
The next
Sorry.
one is that the game Snakes and Ladders was actually originated in India. And
Oh,
yeah,
snakes and ladders, or
yeah,
shoots and ladders, sometimes
yeah.
they call it.
Shoots and Ladders, as it said, it's called in the US, more commonly known.
Hmm.
Um, the game had a different name, and it was believed it was played as early as the 2nd century BC, although it's not really known who exactly invented it. Historians believe it was created to teach morals to children and lessons about karma in a way that children might understand. And the squares where the ladders start were originally supposed to represent virtue, and the squares where the head of the snake sat were supposed to represent evil. In the original Hindu game, the snakes outnumbered the amount of ladders. And then,
Ah.
when the game was translated to English and transported back to England during the 19th century, during colonial times, the game was modified and stripped of any moral aspects, and the number of ladders and snakes or chutes were made equal. The game was named Snakes and Ladders or Shoots and Ladders in the US. But it was actually a
Okay.
moralistic game uh, to teach
Really?
lessons about karma and stuff to kids. So,
Interesting. I can see the
yeah.
karma thing being like, from Eastern religions and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you take the
So,
ladder and go up, and then your next turn you might hit the snake and you go down. Like,
Because you
Yeah.
said they had more snakes in the first one.
Yeah, the snakes outnumbered the amount of ladders.
Because
Yeah.
damn, life just ain't fair, son.
Yeah, I mean, you do kind of get like kicked down a little bit more than you're propelled forward in like normal life. But
I get knocked down, but I get
I
up
get up
again.
again.
You're
You're
never
never
gonna
gonna
keep me
keep me
down.
down.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right. Throwback
uh,
Chumbawamba.
yeah. my oh, not my last one. There's two more. It says that there's about 70% of the world's spices come from India. Um, which is a lot. 70%.
70?
Yeah.
Hot damn.
Yeah. Uh,
Exotic spices. That's probably
mm-hmm.
why, like, yeah, in North America to get something like, I don't know, what's the spice that we don't have here? Paprika or cumin or something?
Yeah.
Saffron. All that stuff was worth, like, almost its weight in
Oh,
gold at one point.
yeah. I like all the things online that were like, oh yeah, like England going around and basically colonizing all these places to get resources, including going to India to get spices, and then they have the blandest food in the world. It's like, oh, burn,
Rude.
burn.
Oh,
Uh,
true, but you know what is crazy is they've been saying, because of course there's a lot of talk now that the Queen of England has passed
mm-hmm.
this last week or so, that like the Commonwealth with its, I was surprised how many countries they said it had. I'm sure they said it was like 200 at some, and I was like, wait, what
Yeah.
now? I could think of like three major ones. But no, it was saying how it's pretty crazy how much political influence somebody who's on paper doesn't have political influence can have just by going and like visiting heads of state and making good relations with them and just being respectful of their cultures and stuff and just, okay, I don't, it would be great. We would hope if you didn't have a war with these people, just having that
Yeah.
kind of influence and just relationship building like that. She really has a crazy good legacy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think she did pretty good. Her family, like, family's history, not so much, but I think she herself is probably in the clear for, like the last 70 years. But
Oh yeah, everything evolves for sure.
yeah, yeah, everybody's history is dark and savage because that's what it was like at the time. Can't forget that. Like, if you look into the past, everybody's got shit. Like,
Yeah, whether they're poor and they're clawing their way forward or they're rich and they're corrupt because they're rich or
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Um, so some of the spices, or the most popular ones, out of India include black pepper, cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, paprika, turmeric, and vanilla. So thank
Oh,
you,
all
India,
the
for
fun ones.
yes, all those beautiful flavors, especially heading into fall. We got cinnamon and nutmeg, and oh
Oh, damn, yeah.
yeah,
Like I always get requests
pumpkin
from Pat
spice.
anyway for molasses spice, yeah, or ginger
Mm,
spice cookie, whatever, ginger snaps, all those
yeah.
ones. But my kid doesn't like them so much.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I don't know.
you can't like everything.
No, that's okay. The gingerbread men will be safe from her. They won't be like, not my gumdrop buttons.
And
I love those
my
spices though.
yeah, they're great. They make everything
Yeah.
better. I love paprika and black
Ooh.
pepper. So yeah. My last kind of fact uh, was that it's reported that India is actually the second largest English speaking nation. Um, I didn't look at the source
Oh.
for this, but it said second only to the US. India has around 10% of its populace fluent in English, and this statistic is expected to quadruple in the next decade. I think probably just with the prevalence of Western TV shows and everything. And the internet, like a lot of people learn English from watching like Friends or The Office and stuff like that. They
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
say so.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
just because they have a lot of people.
I
That
assume that that helps boost the percentage. And then I assume that they're
mm,
taking into account that a lot of people in Canada, probably in Quebec and stuff, and like Manitoba, uh, have a lot of French, like sections of the public. So, because I'm like, why is
yeah, Quebec, New
Canada?
Brunswick. Yeah.
I guess
I'm sure,
population
yeah.
wise.
Well, and when you get into like per capita and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
for sure. I'm sure they're correct.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just the number of people that live there is skewing like the percentage of. Because I'm like, what about Canada? What about England? Like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
we are huge.
yeah.
We have like almost, oh no, is it 10 million? No, no, maybe not 10 million people, but when I was looking at the land mass, I think we have almost 10 million square.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
We're
A
we're
lot.
I know when I was in high school, our teacher looked it up and we were at like 36 million people. And then the US was at like 360 million at about the same time. So our teacher used to
Mm.
say, just think of the US as having 10 times the amount of everything that Canada has. So they have 10 times the amount of bad people, but they have
Oh,
10 times
sure.
the amount of good people. And it's like, that's good. Like, it's like we can
Yeah, yeah,
help.
yeah. That probably
Yeah.
stands pretty true.
Yeah. You just probably hear about more about the bad than the good because I don't know, everything's clickbait nowadays.
It's
Yeah.
Well, it's always weird to me when Americans almost will talk about Canada and they'll like, well, okay, yeah, it's funny to joke that we're all just like having shots of maple syrup every morning, but like they almost always act like we're just so different. And I'm like, okay, but if you've been here, you know that like there's very little difference culturally between Canadians and
Yeah.
Americans. Like people, I don't know why people always, yeah, almost seem to focus on differences because
Yeah.
otherwise than that, yeah, you can go here and be, it's the same thing, only maybe a few different chip flavors or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately that's the end of my fun facts.
Oh, so we're done now?
Yeah. No.
Okay, goodbye. Good episode.
Ending it. This episode's 35 minutes long. Sorry. Uh
Nice.
but my case isn't super long. We'll see. That's why I rounded out with some facts. Um
Oh, okay.
yeah. Because I was like, oh, mine's pretty short. Let's see. Uh, but I will be talking. Spoiler: it's a murder. Uh,
Ah. Well, it is crime.
yeah, and that's the murder of Sharath Niranjan, and
Pardon me. Okay.
yeah, it was. He was a 19-year-old engineering student. This took place, I believe, in 2017. It was hard to get dates. A lot of stuff would just say like last Thursday, which we've talked about before.
Yes.
Then it was
Same
like,
problem.
damn it! When was last Thursday? 5 years ago. Uh,
Yeah, because you just have sometimes the month the thing was
yeah,
published or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, month
Uh,
and year. Yeah.
and so he has a sister. I don't remember seeing much about his mom. I don't know if she's in the picture. There wasn't a whole anything really backstory other than his father, Niranjan Kumar, was a or is a senior officer in the income tax department. So they were
Oh.
pretty like wealthy family, not crazy wealthy, but it's gonna be involved. Like they were kind of targeted, and
Sure. They're
mhm.
like a white collar or whatever. They make
Yeah,
middle to above average or whatever.
yeah, it was enough that the family had a driver. So
Oh.
yeah, because that was mentioned. I was like, okay, like
Damn.
yeah. And Sharath went missing on September 12th in Bangalore, uh, well, on his way to meet up with some of his friends.
Aw.
And so Chandru, a relative of the families, told Express, I don't know if that's like newspaper or radio,
Right.
that Sharath left the house on the bike that he was last seen on. They mean a motorcycle. He was pretty interested in motorcycles and things like that, racing bikes. And
Okay.
mhm, yeah,
So, not a bicycle.
no, not a bicycle. So he left
At the
the
smallest, like a scooter or motorbike.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he left the house on the bike at 6:10 p.m. on September 12th, and at 6:30 he was kidnapped, and then this does mention his mom. Around 8:30 p.m. his mother Vanya, uh I think this is the only time she's mentioned, tried to contact him over the phone, but he didn't respond. So that window
Oh,
between 6:10 and 6:30 is when he
okay.
disappeared. Twice he texted her that he would reach home soon, and normally he would have sent text messages to his mother addressing her as Amy or Ami, Ame. Um,
AMME. Okay.
yeah, so this is probably like a term of endearment he had for her. And
Sure.
this message, like, it was missing from his last text message that was sent from his phone at 8:30, and this stated that he would reach home at about 10:30. His mother was worried and texted back saying that she would inform the police if he didn't come home soon. And at that time, she was not aware that he had been abducted. So she was just waiting for him to come home after he was supposed to be hanging out with his friends.
Right, and
Mm-hmm.
now someone is texting from his phone saying he'll be
Yeah.
home later. Okay.
Mm-hmm. About 10:30. So the same
Jeez.
day that Sharath went missing, his father and sister received two videos through the messaging app WhatsApp that were actually from Sharath's phone. So,
Okay.
mm-hmm. So they're texting using the phone. They're also sending these video messages. In the first video, Sharath said could be seen, and he said that some people who were irked or angered by his father's work had kidnapped him, and that they were
What?
demanding some money, and that they will call you tomorrow. They've been torturing me, and I will be with them. Please pay the ransom. That's what he was reported saying in the video.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So now
So,
they have an actual video.
yeah. And it was him,
Jeez.
and he was seen saying this. So, family obviously really worried. They now know something's wrong. They contacted the police and ended up calling his friend that he was supposed to be meeting up with, named Vishal.
Okay.
Shortly after this phone call with his friend, the family ended up receiving another video through WhatsApp. This one showed Sharath asking them not to contact the police and that the abductors were dangerous and they had weapons. He also said that if they contacted the police, the family could be in trouble and they would be in danger. He said that the captors knew and they were tracking the family, knew their movements, where they were going to be, their routines. He also stated that they had been watching his sister and that if they contacted the police, she would be their next target.
Oh no.
Yeah, just
All the
terrible.
kind of things that you're like, well, they would just say that to give them more
Right?
time,
Yeah.
but also you don't want to ignore it at the same
Yeah,
time.
you don't really want to take that chance.
Ugh.
Uh,
Yeah,
so,
and they're like, don't go to police because we'll kill everybody. But
yeah,
you don't know. Everybody could already be dead.
right? So with this, they did end up going to the police. Uh, there isn't a whole lot of information about the case. A lot of it's from like quotes and things like that from investigators. The police believed that someone close to Sharath had committed the crime or abduction due to there being no evidence of him being taken away forcibly. I don't know if they had located an abduction area or how they confirmed that.
Oh, so
Yeah.
we don't know even where he was taken.
Not specifically, it's not really talked about. They just say that they met
Hmm.
up with him. But police said, quote, if you watch the second video, he looks at someone beyond the camera and asks if what he said was fine. That
Ugh.
level of familiarity is usually among family or friends, the senior police official said. So with
Or
this,
Stockholm syndrome victims and their captor that they see as
I know,
family.
yeah.
Sorry.
Or
Yeah.
someone saying, yeah, was that fine? Like, you're asking me to say this on camera. That's fine. Fine,
Yeah.
then,
Am I
yeah.
gonna live? Is that good enough?
Yeah. Well, the police had this feeling. So, with that in mind, they spoke to neighbors, family and friends, classmates, relatives. These people were all questioned by the police. And there's another quote from the senior officer adding, we didn't know who it was, but we're sure that it was someone close to him. We asked his father if any one of Sharath's friends were showing extreme concern all of a sudden, and we
Hmm.
found that Vishal, who had been visiting the family almost every day, the boy's father, or Sharath's father, told me that Vishal had told him to give money or give the money over to them multiple times to save him. Um, which,
Okay.
yeah. So, the police start kind of narrowing in and kind of monitoring Vishal. He had been attempting to lead police in interviews they made with him to a bunch of other a bunch of different suspects, such as some of the neighbors and uh, that lived in the area. He pointed fingers at the family's driver and pretty much
Of
anybody
course.
else that knew the family, saying
Right.
they could have
They
done
would be good
this.
suspects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn.
so the officer continues, quote, we became suspicious of Vishal and began keeping an eye on him. We tracked his movement through his cell phone GPS and also began looking through his call records. We found that both Sharath and Vishal's mobile phones were located at the same place on the night of the abduction. We also found that Vishal's friends Vicky and Vinay had frequented the Romohali and Ajakante lakes, which will
Mm.
come into fact later.
Okay.
Uh, Vishal also said that Sharath was addicted to drugs. He claimed he was carrying cash with him when he had left the house. Um, so
Okay.
he's like just telling so many stories. It's unbelievable.
I
He
know, it's like I
Yeah.
it's not gonna fool the cops, but for me, I'm like, wait, it's yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of confused. There's so much misdirection.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a point to all his misdirection.
Hmm.
Uh he also, through these things he was claiming, convinced some of Sharath's friends and relatives to believe that he might have gone somewhere and even cooked up this whole kidnap story himself, and faked his own abduction.
What?
Which,
Okay.
yeah, bonkers. Um,
Well, it's not your usual, yeah,
yeah.
plot.
Um, so through questioning, I assume at the police, at some point, probably because they're tracking his phone, he was asked to be provided, I guess, or give his SIM card from his cell phone to the police, that he regularly used, and they said they would check his call records. Um, but in doing so, they discovered that he actually had two other SIM cards that he used to communicate with his, quote, associates. So he has 3 different SIM
Oh.
cards that he uses. And when
Oh, that's
police...
totally normal then.
Yeah! This is my drug dealer phone. Shit like that.
Just my work phone and my other work phone.
Yeah. Work phone 2, work phone 3.
Don't you
This
have
is-
3 work phones?
This is the party line. No. So
Back when everybody had like a work BlackBerry they were
Oh
given.
god. Yeah. Remember Blackberries? Oh, the poor company.
Yeah.
My brother had a Blackberry.
I always think of it because they'll like, yeah, they gave them to the staff at the office, like the show The Office that one time.
Did they? I do not remember that.
Yeah, definitely in a later season, but I remember because like Phyllis is confused about it,
That's
how
so
to
cute.
use it.
I
Yeah.
Back when everybody thought it was so amazing to have a full keyboard, like
Yeah.
on your phone, and now it's just a touch screen keyboard, and you're like, I don't want a keyboard no more. I had those ones that slid up, it slid, and the keyboard was underneath it. Damn, I thought it was like the
Yeah.
shit. Like, just like, let me slide out
Mine
my
slid to the side.
yeah, like fucking slide this keyboard out of my phone right now. I got
Yeah.
a full space bar. Anyway.
So slick. Instead of clamping mine down, I slide it.
Yeah.
You still hang up your phone? Oh, you caveman.
I slid it closed. Yeah. Yeah, so he gives the 1 SIM card out of his 3 SIM cards to the police.
Oh my god.
When police finally tracked him, he was actually using his mother's SIM card that she was not aware that he had gotten a hold of somehow.
Oh.
So, yeah. He just... Yeah, this Vishal guy's super skeevy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For good reason. He was questioned by police and, no surprise, ended up confessing to basically orchestrating this whole kidnapping, and that he had done it to pay off a loan that a friend of his, Shanth Kumar, not related to the father,
Okay.
this actually was his brother-in-law. This said like a friend, but when another thing said it was his brother-in-law, Shanth
Okay.
Kumar, who was a local cab driver. This was kind of a loan that he owed people, and yeah, so they planned this whole kidnapping and ransom demand so they could pay off this loan. They planned to divide the extra ransom money amount they requested among themselves, but said that things went wrong when the family decided to contact the police. So that's why he was kind of telling them not to. And he called
God
them.
damn it. When they call the police, that's when you know it's all gone sideways.
Yeah.
Who would have thought they would ever contact the police?
Any sane person ever would contact the police. Shit, man.
Yeah. I'm so over
Especially
these
in
guys.
2017. Like, come on.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna roll over and play dead while you do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
With their family member that you've kidnapped. So he said that they had originally planned to let Sharath go, but he feared that he would be able to identify them because it was his friend. Like, clearly he knows who the fuck you are. I just loved that. They feared he would identify them. What? Like, he didn't probably hang out with them every few days? Like, shit.
Okay.
I don't know this person. I can't identify you in a police lineup.
Never seen him before in my life.
Yeah. So, with their knowledge that Sharath loved super bikes, or, like, motorbikes, yeah, I was like, why a super bike? Super bike. Vishal told his friend that he had just gotten a Benelli bike and that he was able to test drive it that evening. So that's who he was meeting up with, and Sharath disappeared after leaving home on his way to meet up with him to see the bike. And police said that Vishal and his brother-in-law, Shantha, Shanath Kumar, Vinay, and somebody now named Karen. I,
Oh
I don't
no.
I don't think they're ever. Oh, they are Karen Pie. It's all men. It's not. Don't picture a I want to speak to your manager, Karen. It's yeah.
Right.
Um.
It's how is it spelled?
Karan.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Karan, maybe.
Yeah.
Uh.
I'd probably be like, maybe it's Quran. I don't know.
Yeah, Karan. So they made Sharath get into a car. I assume it was probably near the meetup area that Vishal had lined up with him. And this vehicle, Vinay had actually borrowed from his friend, so it wasn't even their vehicle.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they forced Sharath to ask his parents on the video call for the money for his freedom, and then they were the ones that sent this to his parents on WhatsApp. After this, the family contacted the police, and during this time, Vinay, who was also close with the family, called Sharath's sister and said that he had just learned about the incident through media reports, which that'd be pretty crazy because it was like 20 minutes after they reported it to the police.
And who was
Um,
saying they just learned about it? Sorry?
not one of the kidnappers, but like just a family friend. Like these are all his friends. Like they know the
Oh,
family and everything. That's what's kind of tragic about
right.
this.
Yeah,
Um,
totally. Like
yeah.
your friends or your family friends, whatever. People you think you can
Right.
trust, but they turn on you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
some
fucked up.
sources even said that Vishal was his friend from childhood. Like they had known each other for probably at least 10 years. Like,
Damn.
yeah. And they did this to pay off like his brother-in-law's loan. Like it's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Vinay calls the family or calls Sharath's sister and said that he learns about the incident through the media reports and asks what the family's gonna do. And she responds that they're gonna file a report with the police. Um, and then assume at some point the conversation ends and Vishal is informed. And then he forces Sharath to make the second video asking his parents not to file the police report or complaint, they called it.
Right.
Uh,
Okay.
so they revealed after the second video the police involvement. They kept Sharath in the car and they were driving through the city. They found a secluded spot, and Sharath was then strangled to death with a nylon rope after it was decided that it would be easier to do that than stabbing him to death. Which is
Oh
just
my god.
heartbreaking that, like, why the fuck would you do this to your friend? Like,
Yeah, it's nothing you do is going to make it easier because what you're trying to fight is your conscience.
yeah.
Seriously.
So it said that, like, Vishal might not have even been in the car when this was happening. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So, well, Vishal's associates in the abduction plan wanted to free Sharath. It was Vishal who insisted in the end that he had to be killed to protect their identities. Vishal stated that the four others drove around looking for a secluded spot and that Sharath's body was on the floor of the car. I think in the,
Hmm.
like, back on the floor. So,
Okay.
police revealed that Sharath was killed within just hours of the family contacting the cops, and his body was dumped in a lake, one of the lakes I mentioned, with like stones tied around to that weighted it down to keep it from floating up.
Oh.
After this confession, Sharath's family was obviously pretty shocked to discover that the ones responsible for their son's kidnapping and murder was one of their son's closest friends, and that all these people that
Yeesh.
had contacted him or contacted them to find out how they were holding up were the ones that were involved.
Ugh, yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, right.
Because they're just trying to make themselves look better by being like, oh, I was
Yeah,
there to comfort you. But you're like, yeah, you were there to like drive the knife in further.
right. Steer the investigation, just like the police said. Has anybody become overly concerned about the family
Yes.
recently?
Right.
Like, yeah. Um, so during the questioning, Vishal revealed that they checked back because Sharath's body, so he was killed on the 12th, that a few hours like before the end of the 12th, and they found his body on September 19th. So for like those 7 days, Vishal revealed that they kept checking back to the lake to see if his body had floated up. Um,
Oh.
and it said a few times that in different sources, one said that his body was discovered there. Another source said that his body did float up and they took it out of the water, tied heavier boulders to it, and put it back in the lake. And then it
Ugh.
floated up a second time and they removed it from there. And another source
Oh
said
my
after it
God.
floated up the first time, they removed it. And his final resting place was actually, he was buried over 50 kilometers outside of the city, in an area pretty close to the lake, but he wasn't in the water when he was found. So at some point they took his body out of the water.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's
but they
so
went
gross.
yeah, they went back there multiple times to check on it over those 7 days before Vishal finally led police to discovering his body.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah. The four accused, Vishal 21, Vinay Prasad 24, Karan Pai 22, Vinod Kumar 21, were all arrested just a few days later on September 21st.
It's just a faster way to say it, Sep 20.
Sep 20. I was abbreviating a word that was fully typed out. Sep 21. Uh,
You should see my notes when I like going too fast and I'm like, well,
yeah.
that's not a word.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then Shanth Kumar, who is supposedly Vishal's brother-in-law, it also said that for some reason, so he was his brother-in-law, and then there was like some whole thing that was offhandedly mentioned in one article about Vishal being in love with Shanth Kumar's sister or something, and maybe that was motivated why he really wanted to pay off his brother-in-law's loan.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. But he
Right.
was Shanth Kumar is 28, so he was the oldest out of all of them. The cab driver had actually abandoned his car, which was the one I think was the cab, and this was the one that was actually used to transport the body. I think maybe from like the water to the burial site because they borrowed somebody else's car for the other part.
Okay.
Um, he was actually planning to leave the state when he was arrested. Uh, it said that Vishal, as a job, he worked as an agent at a regional transport office. Vinay was a private driver, and Karan Pai was a factory worker in an industrial
A
area.
factory worker? Sorry, it
Yeah,
cut out a bit. Okay.
yeah, factory worker, just in an industrial area.
Okay.
Um, Only have a tiny bit left. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna put some fun facts because there's not a lot of information about this one. Uh,
I had the same kind of
yeah.
issue, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
finding information that wasn't the same.
Yeah. A local TV report actually incorrectly reported at some time that Sharath and his sister had been involved in the abduction plan and had made this ransom and demand of money of the parents to probably get money to do something. It was a little
Yeah.
confusing. This was denied completely when it was reported by the media. It was denied by the police officers. They're like, that's not the case. Like, that's not true. Um,
Okay.
mm-hmm. They also stated that the accused murderers, Vishal, Vinay, and Vicky, uh, they didn't have any criminal records or pasts. They had never had any offenses before. This is the only thing that they ever committed. So it seems so out of the blue and extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy.
My last thing was just that Sharath's decomposing body was recovered from where it was buried near the quarry near Ramahali Lake after Vishal had made his confession to the police. So he was found, uh, I think, sometime around the 20th, 21st. Because I think they said, I think I might have said the date wrong. They moved, on the 19th, they removed his body and moved it. So they waited 7 days, and I think they were arrested around the 11-day mark or something.
Okay,
It
I didn't
wasn't
catch
quite.
it
Yeah.
if you said something different.
Right. It was confusing on the timeline. Like, there was only 2 dates that were ever
Yeah.
really mentioned. But I feel bad for him. There's a few pictures on the drive. They'll be on the website. It,
Nice.
yeah, like, he just looks like a nice, like, 19-year-old guy. There's a picture of him. I think it's with
Oh
his
yeah.
mom, and he's on a bike. Um, there's
Oh,
his
okay.
dad and his mom. And then
I
the
mean,
4 men that were
sounded like he didn't
arrested.
deserve it.
No, it
Sorry.
other than like his family having money and them wanting to demand this ransom, like that really is what it came down to. They just wanted
Vicious.
money and they chose to do this against their friend. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's brutal. That's like dog eat dog shit, man. Everybody's like,
Right?
I can claw my way to the top if I just do it on the backs of all my friends and acquaintances. It's like,
Yeah.
no. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I see. There's some nice pictures where he just looks like a, innocent, normal guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just yeah, it's sad. Like, I can't imagine what his family went through. Obviously, like, you're waiting for him to come home, it's getting later, he's
Yeah.
texting you, and then you just start receiving these strange videos saying he's been
Mm-hmm.
kidnapped and apparently been tortured, but that's not ever talked about again. But that's what he said in the video, according to the police.
Yeah, it's like the celebrity kidnap cases where they're from a
Yeah.
famous wealthy family, like the
Mm-hmm.
isn't there like a few of them, like the Gaudis and like the Rockefellers? I think I listened to one on a Rockefeller the other day that was kidnapped. It's just like,
Oh.
man,
I always
it's
think
not your
of
fault you were
the
born into that.
I always think of the baby. We read the book in book club. It was the
Oh, the
baby.
Lindbergh baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that one
Yeah,
breaks
that's
my
a
heart too.
yeah. And it also has some conspiracies around it too, right? That yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody wanted money but it went wrong or whatever. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
bizarre shit. Yeah. Ugh. Kidnapping
Yeah.
cases. We could do another episode on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn.
Well,
That was crazy though.
thanks. I thought it was a interesting one when I ran across
Yeah.
it. I wish there had been some more information. It took me a while to even find out it was from 2017 because everything just
Right.
talks about September, whatever, and nothing ever had a year. And then I just basically figured out it was
Yeah.
around 2017 based on when all these articles were written.
Oh my god.
So I was like, I assume that's right. I don't know, really.
And okay, maybe I'm sorry. um, you said he did, or you said yours had murder because he didn't maybe I forget now, but he didn't make it.
No,
Is
he
what you
was he
said,
was
but
strangled. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so wasteful.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's sad, but we'll take a break and we'll be back for some more true crime. India.
True crime all the time. Yeah. Do whatever you got to do to recover from that one, because we'll
Yeah.
have another one coming at you in just a moment.
You've been warned.
Yeah. Why do you feel quiet? Okay.
Oh, I was, Gordo was stretching up from the floor to get at my desk and smack my phone. So I was leaning down and petting him because he wants attention.
That reminds me of, have you seen that commercial where it's like about having bad Wi-Fi? It's like Wi-Fi acting up, and it's just this tall guy all dressed all in black walking through the rooms of the house, like smacking people's computers and phones out of their hands. It's really funny, actually.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
And then it's just like Wi-Fi acting up. It's so stupid, but I was like, oh, I like that.
No, it's some tall guy slapping my phone.
Yeah. Oh.
I looked on Anchor and
Sorry.
the Japanese or Japan true crime one is almost at 500 plays.
Oh, that's my favorite one to look at.
Yeah. It's like, that's crazy.
I'm like, look at you go, little guy. You just
Yeah.
keep you're consistent.
Yeah. And
Or
then
like gave Pat shit the other day because he was like, I'm a listener, and I looked at him like, oh yeah. And he's like, well, I listen when you're recording. I'm like, that doesn't count for downloads. We're in the tens. Like every download counts. You at least should just. He's like, okay, I'll put it on when I go out and leave the dog alone. I'm like, good.
Yeah. He'll be like, Mom's home? Where's Mom? Where's Mommy? Like,
I know. I said he's probably gonna then maybe freak out when he hears Kelsey.
destroy the house.
Oh my god! Yeah,
maybe.
sometimes you'll just like have I'll say he'll turn on a podcast or something, and if it's out of the blue, he'll kind of be like, "What roof?" Or like me and Rain came home the other day. We were gonna go get her some ice cream, but by the time we got there, it was closed. Even though it was like 8:02, and like they must have just started closing at 8. But anyway, we get home and Rain's wearing her like leather jacket, and it's kind of dark and dim in the hallway. And we get home and he like barks at her as if she's like somebody he doesn't know. And I was like, who did you think it was? Like Kelsey? Like, I don't understand.
No, Kelsey's allowed. No.
I just thought maybe because leather jacket and then curly hair. I don't know.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't recognize her for a second. Yeah, it was cute.
It's funny.
Oh,
Yeah. I scrolled down after I looked at that and was like, what's our lowest episode? And I'm like, other than like the one we just posted or whatever, it was the Dexter episode. I'm like, no!
Yeah. That one doesn't have a lot of plays on Anchor either.
So sad.
I don't know. You never know with these things.
Who doesn't... Dexter. Breaking my heart.
I know all about Dexter. I don't know. I mean, I have heard it covered on a few different things. The Mark Twitchell one, anyway.
Yeah.
Welcome back to India Crimes.
Yeah.
In case we didn't say it or add any of the banter we just had for the last 10 minutes. If we decide it's boring banter, because we were, talking about what? Nothing.
Our plays, our listens.
Oh, yeah. I like talking about our plays, but yeah. It's not always that interesting. Because I want to say, we have 100,000, and I can't yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely can't yet.
We have some thousands.
Yep.
And
We do.
I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm
We're
so happy everyone that like
honored.
rates us. Sorry.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
so kind. Anybody that rates
Mhm.
us and people that are continual listeners, they come back and keep coming back. We really appreciate you. And
Yeah, man. I don't know who you are, but you rock.
yeah,
You clearly have good taste.
we're so glad you enjoy listening to our episodes because we enjoy recording them and we
You can
have
at least
fun.
tolerate us, otherwise you wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, it's always fun when somebody's like comments or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, love the
Yeah.
pod," and you're like, "You do?"
Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more.
That's what I like about the ratings on good pods, because it's nice how people can rate every episode, and some people do, and
Yeah.
I'm like post, yeah, you do, thank you. That's why I posted the other day that we were up to number 5 on good pods, and then like we got a bunch of
Yes.
positive, lovely feedback on Instagram. So thank you everyone that was like, oh, good job, and like well deserved and all that. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, because otherwise, I mean, if nobody says anything to us, we don't really know what kind of things other than what's having the amount of
Nope.
plays that people are enjoying or what do you want
They just
more
clicked on it
of?
by accident. No.
I mean, sometimes on YouTube, I'll look at an episode because we don't get a lot of listens on YouTube, very few. And
Well, because it
sometimes,
is just audio. Yeah, I get
yeah,
it. But some people
sometimes
like that.
it'll be like, oh, it'll have like, you posted this episode a few days ago. It has 3 views, and I click on it, and it was like, the average view was watched like 2 minutes long, and I'm like, well, it's like a 2 hour episode. They watched 2 minutes. How did they click on it then? Like, or it'll say
Not
like
for me. No.
average watch time, like less than a minute, and I'm like, what's even going on? Like,
That can be discouraging.
yeah, YouTube can be so confusing, and so can Anchor. So we really rely on like reviews and comments from people about what they
Yes.
like.
And it's good because before you just had to basically ask people on Apple Podcasts, but now Spotify you can at least rate. Where you can't review, but you can
Yeah.
rate, and like it says we have like 50% of listeners on Spotify. So if you
We
all
have a lot.
rate, that would be great.
And then you will be
Yeah.
great.
Part of the elite, the ones that found it first. Yeah.
Yeah. Start a
uh,
fan club and then I don't
a
know.
fan club?
A
Wait,
fan
what?
club.
A fan club?
Start a fan
I
club.
might. We need one. We need a Facebook group. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's cute because I go to get my hair done today, and she's like, "What's going on? It's almost Halloween. It's my Halloween girl." And I was like, "Aw, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you're one of our spooky crew."
Yeah. I love Halloween. I mean,
Damn,
if you got any
it's so
sort of
good.
gift on Halloween like you do at Christmas or your birthday, it would be my favorite holiday. Like,
You gave me a spooky gift. It says
yeah.
Halloween, and it's got
Yeah.
dressed up wine glasses and this like
Yeah.
embroidered cuteness. It's so cute.
There's what, a little devil, there's a witch,
Yeah,
and what's the other one?
it
Is
has
there three of them?
horns.
Yeah.
Yeah, one has a spider web sort of sparkly around its the stem.
Yeah. We had some cute ones again this year. No wine themed ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we.
Yeah. We weren't gonna go so hard on the Halloween themed episodes, which is fine. We did that last year. We did all the Halloween lore and stuff, so we got that out of the way in our inaugural year.
Yeah, we do have our Patreon though. We can spoil our Patreon for September is gonna be about witches, not the
Oh,
witch
it's gonna be witchy.
trials,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about witches. So
We are. It's gonna be like, witch, please.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that because this is not as fun.
Wah,
But
wah.
yeah, still, I was glad that I picked it, I guess.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
happens. I mean,
adjusting my mic.
that
I don't
sounds
know.
so weird. It's like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Did it? I was like, oh, I can't see. It's
Uh,
beside me, and then I was leaning.
mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I decided to look up if there was any Bollywood crimes, and I
Mm,
found a Bollywood actress murder, which is very sad
yeah.
and didn't turn out to be a lot of information, but I was like determined to press on and tell it anyways. Like you said, it's tough to find information, especially when the stuff is probably just translated from
Yeah.
Punjabi or whatever to English. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very difficult, but that's okay. We persevere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this person we're talking about, her name was Laila Khan, or rather, it was sort of a stage name that she went by as an actress. Her birth name was Reshma Nadir Shah Patel.
Okay.
Reshma Patel, yeah. And she was like this up and coming starlet, and had starred in, a few littler things like commercials and stuff like that, but only one
Okay.
true credited, yeah, movie or Bollywood movie. She does have an IMDb, but I don't think it has a few details, but not really
Mm.
any listings. Yeah.
Okay.
But she was very young. The one major film that she was in, she had a lot of potential, I think. I did
Okay.
say that.
She was an
Yeah.
up and comer.
Exactly. Yeah, they called her like a starlet and this and that. And the film that she was credited as starring in was called Wafa, A Deadly Love Story. So
No.
it's a little
Ominous.
eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she happened to act opposite the lead man played by Rajesh Khanna, and he apparently was a pretty beloved Indian actor,
Mm.
but it was actually one of, if I'm not mistaken, the last of his roles because he was like terminally ill after this one, I believe. Like he was getting
Okay.
older. Yeah, he might have been in his 50s or 60s.
Hmm.
And eventually the film was deemed like a flop, even though it was apparently
Aw.
pretty racy for Bollywood.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some pictures of the movie, not the movie trailer, what's it called? The movie poster kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I think
And
I saw
stuff.
the little
Yeah.
thumbnail when I went to put my pictures on the drive, but I was like trying to not pay attention, being like, don't spoil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you're like, what is this porn? No.
All I saw was some. Yeah, I saw the one. Oh, I saw the one with
Oh,
him and her and the gun or something. I think that was the one that came up.
yeah, there's some kind of cheesy looking black and white stills for the movie trailer.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Bollywood, I don't really watch a lot of that. I know some of it can be a little cheesy and in my
Yeah.
view, maybe that's just my Western opinion. Who knows? I know it's a little
I've
bit like that.
watched a couple of like the newer like Netflix Bollywood ones that
Oh,
ended up
really?
I really enjoyed them. There was
Oh,
one, it was
nice.
supposed to be an arranged marriage between this guy and a girl, and she didn't want to go through with it, and he was like in love with her, and then you find out it's because she was in love with another girl, and you're like, ooh, the drama.
Ooh.
You're like secret lesbian, and then when he finds out, he's like determined to help keep her secret, and then like all this stuff, and it was like,
Oh.
oh, this was just really sweet. And then so then they orchestrate this whole fake family play
Weird.
that's basically gonna be her coming out to the family. Yeah, it was so cute. I can't
It
even
seems like
remember
a
what it's
strange
called.
cross. It's like a cross between like a, I don't know, like a soft porn or a porno slash an after school special. Oh, by the way, Bound Chicka Bow Wow, you guys are lesbians? Well, that's okay. Let's just advocate for your, rights. It's like,
Well,
what?
yeah, not even that. I don't even. I think there may have been like a closed mouth kiss like one time in the whole movie. Like that wasn't the thing, but it was so cute.
Aw.
There was like dance numbers, everything. It was like, oh
Right. That's what they're
yeah,
really all about, I guess. I don't know.
yeah, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it,
That
but
sounds
it
pretty good,
it was
actually.
pretty cheesy, yeah. But I was like, I don't
Well,
know.
as long as it's not what? Our prime minister trying to think he can do Indian dances.
Oh no, let people do their own dances.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah.
So according to the trivia they had on IMDb, this Laila Khan is often confused with another Laila Khan, who is the daughter of Feroz Khan, another Indian actor.
Mm.
Um, so I was kind of like, that's weird because here it seems when you get a stage name, it's because you have a name that's too similar to someone else. So maybe it's
Yeah.
not like having you be part of the Screen Actors Guild here. I don't know.
Hmm.
So it also made it really hard or doubly hard to Google because then this other Layla Khan would come up
Yes.
too.
That's what I had. It took me
Yeah.
3 days to figure out the last name of the family because
Oh no.
um instead of saying Sharath, sometimes it just said Sharat, and then sometimes it had a different last name, but I discovered after that there was a Sharath uh started with a K. There was like a
Oh,
Kumar that
okay.
was like a activist that got shot the same year. So when you googled like
Oh
Sharath,
no.
India, murder, like half
Yeah.
of it was the one that I was doing, and then yeah, to the point where some of my sources that I had copied for my notes, I was like halfway through typing them. I was like, this isn't even the right person.
Oh
Copy,
no.
delete. I was like, no wonder I'm confused. Because like every second thing that I had looked at was the wrong person. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's a little daunting at
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, it was difficult.
I was like, you're like, should I pick another one? It's like, no, this
Mm-hmm.
one, it still deserves, like, I wanted to tell it, even if it's gonna
Yeah.
be like maybe 10 sources by the time we're done writing them all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this part. She was actually born in Pakistan in 1978, which I almost had it wrong. I just kind of assumed she was born in India, but later,
Mm.
rectified that. But she did model there before moving to India and then had dreams of becoming a Bollywood star. Um, and Layla's mother had remarried for a third time to a man named Parvez Iqbal Talk. Talk was about 35, I wrote here. From what I heard, it was early 30s for sure. He was about the same age as Layla, basically.
Okay.
And like, Layla's mother is like 20 years her senior. So obviously, Layla's mom had her, pretty early, which I can relate. So, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, he's definitely younger and not as established as Layla's mother, which will be sort of important. So,
Okay.
yeah. Her mother's name is Selena or Shalina. There was definitely various spellings I saw,
Yeah.
but either way, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go with calling her Selena. And she and Talk had begun a relationship not too long before, which we'll get to. So on February the 8th, 2011, Layla, her mother, Talk, and a handful of siblings and members went to the family's farmhouse in Mumbai for a gathering and a kind of a barbecue style dinner.
Okay.
Yay, that sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they obviously went and ate and had a good time. They were like dancing to music outside and generally having a good time and talking and laughing until late in the evening that night. Then people started to retire after about midnight or thereabouts, and by 1 a.m., everybody was kind of away, dispersed for the evening.
Hmm.
But that's when Selena and the spouse or whatever talk is in the room, and around 1:45 an argument broke out. So Talk was angry with her, he said, for deciding to move the family all to Dubai, and he felt very left behind.
Oh.
So
So
yeah.
he's not moving with them? Or...
It appears not. I mean, well, we have a little bit more info, but again, kind of like yours, where there's just
Yeah.
not a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one just escalated really quickly from there, and he struck her with a blunt object on the head.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it was just right away. It went to violence, and then alerted to the commotion. Other family members then would arrive on the scene, and they were all greeted with the same gruesome sight. Selena lying on the floor, just prone, with obviously blood flowing from her head. And just so brutal and cold and cruel. The rest of the family were basically all murdered to keep them quiet because they were there and knew what had happened and came down and saw.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah.
such a bizarre reason, because I think about
Well,
like the celebrity couples and everything that are in the US, and like they're apart so often, they have multiple houses, a lot of them, they live in different places at different times.
sure.
One of them's off doing whatever on tour because they're
Oh, yeah.
like musician, one of them's on a movie set for 2 months. Like, so I look at this and
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
can
oh,
do it.
she's moving the family to Dubai and he feels left behind.
Yeah.
Like, dude, either move with her or don't. Like, fuck. Like,
Right.
it's
If it was
crazy.
just that, it probably wouldn't have resulted in this, but there's definitely more to it. And
Oh, okay.
we do get more information, but I did have to definitely comb a few articles before you get kind
Yeah.
of some of the layers to it. Oh, yeah, it's really weird. And then try and watch a few videos when the first few ones on the YouTube are Punjabi network ones, and they all start. You're like, damn it, the title is in English, but the video's in Punjabi. Yeah. Okay. So Layla's father reported her mother, her siblings, Asmina, Imran, and Zara, and another relative, Rashma Khan, missing by February 2011.
Jesus.
Yeah, they were alerted to be missing not too long after the incident. And Layla's two, they called them MUVs, which apparently is like kind of like a mini SUV, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So,
MUV.
yeah. A small SUV. Bigger, a little bit bigger than a regular car.
Yeah.
And they were found in Jammu and Kashmir, or they just kept abbreviating it to J and K.
Oh.
I know, I guess it's a state in India, so maybe it's called something different now. I did not write that part down because I was like, oh my god, I don't understand, so I can't explain. If it's called something different now, they'll know. So yeah, this Talk guy, which was the stepfather slash the third husband of the mother, He was a road contractor from a place called Kishtwar in JNK, as we're calling it. So he does have an interesting past. By July, police had somewhat connected the murders to talk, at least tangentially or circumstantially, but they had not arrested him.
Okay.
They, yeah, they did search the farmhouse eventually, and that's when they found what they were looking for, which was unfortunately 6 skeletons.
Oh my god. And how long
Yeah.
after was that? February to July?
Yes.
And they're skeletons? That is. Okay.
Yeah. That's what everything described it as, and or like mostly skeletons. I
Hmm.
wondered as well why it seemed like they
Yeah.
were. But again, I thought, well, it's difficult with the translation. Some things were a little choppy. I thought maybe it's
True.
just, yeah, I don't know, remains, something like that, bodies. But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, it was so rough. They were just basically found piled in a pit.
Oh my
Three
god.
bodies. Yeah. At the bottom, three, and then a layer of Shahabad stone, which is like, I guess, a limestone, apparently found in Tandu town of Telangana state in India. Because I was like, why are they saying this specific stone? you know. But yeah, then a layer of blood-soaked sheets, mattresses, and clothing, type of thing. Then three more bodies. Then another layer of these Shahabad stones and mud.
Wow. That's
Oh yeah.
crazy. So he killed six family members that night.
Yeah. And then made the
Wow.
most horrific parfait of human bodies and like
Yeah, what the
landscaping.
fuck? That's
Oh yeah.
insane.
He was a sad little man apparently.
Sounds like it.
Oh yeah. Um there's a lot of I found quite a few pictures because Layla was an actress. There's quite a few pictures of her and she was just beautiful. She had these like striking blue eyes and
Yeah.
like there's some of her family members and stuff and you're just like, "Oh my god, like what the fuck?" It's crazy. But yeah, Talk was arrested that summer along with his buddy Shakir Hussein. Because Talk kind of confessed to police in this rambling sort of statement.
Hmm.
And yeah, his eventual charges included murder, kidnapping, robbery with attempt to cause grievous hurt slash death, causing disappearance of evidence of offense, and criminal conspiracy. And a fun fact was that the charge sheet they wrote up for him was like 984 pages.
Holy shit.
It seemed long. And then his official statement was 12 pages of like his life story.
Oh, God. Doesn't beat their
Yeah.
900 pages against him, though.
Oh my god, I know. This was like him citing all the reasons he was angry and bitter toward his wife, Selena, and her family. Um, which, like, keep in mind, he basically, like, made her his wife because they were just, like, fooling around. He was like, I don't know. Did we get to that yet? Whatever.
Oh, no.
He wants to be married more than she does, I remember.
So
Maybe
then
we'll
you have
get to it
nobody to
here.
blame but
Ugh.
yourself.
He's just the worst.
He
Yeah.
got mad about being some young arm candy, and then was like, I'm just gonna murder her whole
Yeah.
family about it. Shit, man.
That basically sums it up.
Holy fuck. Do you want to be her arm candy and do nothing but lay beside a pool all day or not? I mean,
I don't know what.
fuck.
It was hard to tell what he wanted. Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said he was mad that Selena and her daughters would like to go out to bars or enjoy the nightlife, which he said was not in keeping with Islamic, religion and stuff.
Well, it was 2011. Like,
Yeah. But he apparently was angry with their, like, lies and false promises, is what he told police. Okay. Yeah. He was like, oh, yeah, that was just the beginning. And he told them all about his childhood. This is his 12-page dissertation or whatever. He had been born in 1980 to a poor family. His father was a carpenter named Iqbal Mohammed Talk. His mother's name was Sakina, and he had a younger brother named Raya Saad. And in 1998, he failed his 10th exam, it said, and did not complete high school. So, oops. Okay. He dropped out and started working with his dad, then briefly at J. Prakash Bijli Power Project. Again, this is all just what he's, like, telling the cops, because apparently he's like, they need to listen. In 2004, he got a contract for the road work near his village. The valley it was in was, quote, heavily under the influence of Lashkar-e-Taiba. I did not look up how to say that one, but it was like, it's this group. Talk said at the time he often ran into or saw a man named Saeed Hafiz, who, according to this article, was a co-conspirator of 9/11.
Oh, jeez.
Right? Rough. Co-conspirator or scapegoat. Either way, this is getting into some intense shit. Apparently, they were being pressured to stop the road building and the bridge building they were doing in the, what they were constructing by these bad guys. Because they didn't want the army to have easy access to the area, is what Talk was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's probably true. Who knows? Bad guys be bad guys all over the world. Despite these threats to stop construction, they continued. That is, he said, until he got kidnapped by a terrorist named Javed, who confined him to a room for 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. Should be real over here. I don't know what to believe anymore with this case.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got a lot, he says. Because next, quote, Talk alleges that he requests Javed to free him and would arrange, basically, 5 lakh rupees in return. And I had to look it all up because it was like RS 5 lakh.
Okay, like, yeah, that's what I had, and I just omitted any of those because I never looked it up. And I was like, oh shit, I forgot. Don't know what that means.
I think the RS is like stands for shorthand for rupees. But then it was very confusing because, 5 lakh meant like 0.5 million rupees. Apparently.
How much is that? Because that's how much the ransom was in my case.
Oh, you know it's $8,196 Canadian.
Oh shit, it's not nearly enough. It's so sad. So that dude got murdered for $8,000. Oh my god, no.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think that was what I looked up. That was correct because I was like, I don't understand what this lock means.
I meant to look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's basically almost like, saying 10K or something, almost like a like a nickname. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I know, because I was like, I don't understand.
I meant to look it up, and then when I got to that part in my notes, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to do this. And then I was like, some amount.
Right. You never know what you're going to get up if you look up RS 5 lakh.
Yeah.
Indian money, you're like, I have no idea.
Canadian conversion, type in 2011, yes. 2020.
In Canadian dollars, exactly.
Yeah.
Mostly things are always converted into American dollars, which is close, but not exactly the same.
Yeah. We're 20% cheaper or 20% less
Usually, at
value.
least. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. 30 oftentimes.
Yeah.
But after that, this Parvez guy apparently became somewhat financially successful, if that sounds correct. He made a little bit more money, and then he started harboring dreams of being a politician himself. And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. In 2007, he went to Delhi and joined NCP, or the National Congress Party. There, an acquaintance named Mohammed Ashrafi introduced him to Selena Patel. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
Layla's mom. Yeah. And then he ran for office in the, and I quote, Interwall constituency number 52 from Chitwar, and lost.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it. It's like K shit war. That's how the word is spelled. K shit war?
I'll take your word for it.
Right?
There's
You
no
don't
way to
have
know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna Google K shit war.
No?
No thanks.
So then he started racking up debt, and it makes sense. It costs a lot to run for office. I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Personal experience. No.
Yeah. Oh, watching Parks and Rec. No.
Yeah.
It said that he met Selena in Delhi. Do they mean New Delhi? Delhi, whatever. And, quote, told her he was disturbed, end quote. Don't know what that means. Got
And she's like,
nothing
sweet,
there.
I want to marry you.
Right? I know, all this stuff was very unclear, and especially translated to another language, which yeah, by the time I watched a YouTube video, I was like, at least I can sort of understand when you speak it. Because it said she offered to help him out with donations. So I was like unclear whether these donations were coming from her or she was helping him rally donations. But
Okay. And like his political career, she was gonna.
right. Yeah, he's just trying to run some little campaign and start out, and she told him to head to Mumbai with video clips of the campaign and that she would help him out. So that's all I know. Don't ask me any follow-up questions.
Okay.
Mine's going to be short because I know nothing.
I will not be taking questions at the end.
I will not be.
No comment.
So this talk guy starts staying with her in her Mirror Road. They kept calling it a flat, very British-like, so apartment. I mean, obviously the British inhabited their territory for a long time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you ran into that too, but I was like, oh, her flat.
Oh no, they like referenced absolutely nothing. That's why I'm like reading. I was like, I think he has a mom. Oh yeah, this quote says he has a mom. She's still around.
He
in
was
this
grown.
one
As a
instance.
test tube.
Yeah. Well, I was like,
Yeah.
maybe she's dead, maybe they're divorced. Like, who fucking knows? And I was like, and
No way to know.
somebody one time says she has a sister.
Oh my god. Fuck. No, it is. It was so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally one article, I think, is where I got this next part from, that the two began to have a more physical relationship at this time.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, they're fucking, I guess.
They'd be fucking.
But apparently Talk was the one who really wanted to get married. He insisted, and that's what one source said, at least. And so that Selena's friend apparently arranged a qazi, which I guess is like an Islamic judge or magistrate, and then they get hitched, or yeah.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't some big
Apparently.
elaborate wedding.
No.
Okay.
Nope, not at all. It didn't even sound like they both wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, did we mention also that like Talk is like almost the same age as Selena's daughter, Layla,
Yeah.
already?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said that.
So it is an interesting relationship, and the just well also the way he wants to get married really fast. Not that just because you have an age
Yeah.
difference, because like whatever, but like it is a big one. And then he's like, let's get married, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they take a quick honeymoon in Mahabaleshwar. Sure. Also, what?
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, also, fun fact, the word honeymoon is derived from the Scandinavian practice of drinking mead during the first month of marriage, or one moon cycle, in order to, I put in the words of Maud Lebowski, increase the chances of conception. Isn't that fun, though? Honeymoon has to do with
Yeah.
mead. I love
It's
it.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Talk meets Selena's daughter Layla and also a man named Asif Sheikh. Shaikh. I don't know. Probably Sheikh, something like that. um, who Selena introduced as her brother. And they often visit at Layla's apartment in Oshawara.
Hmm.
Yeah, hopefully. No. In 2010, Talk finds Selena and Asif in bed in a, quote, compromising position.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the little infographic that says that he was her second husband, and I'm like, when he said
Yes.
introduced as his brother, I was like, wait, what? No, is this a
Yes.
different issue?
Yes. You should have one that is sort of like
Yeah,
a flow chart. Yep.
yeah. I've been
And
staring
right now
at
it's
it
sounding very
attentively.
Game of Thrones. What?
Yeah, well, I've been looking at it because it's how I'm keeping the story straight. It's very helpful.
I saw that on something and I was, oh, I love this little flow chart of
Yeah.
characters. It's great.
Also,
I'll
just
have to put it. Yeah.
like from a standpoint of each of the three husbands just progressively getting younger. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't study it that long, but I could see that because he, yeah, is like quite young comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
But also like with yeah, her daughter's only 20 years. She had her pretty young too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting because then she has to admit when he freaks out that he is not her brother, this Asif guy, but her
Yeah.
second husband. So at least they're not Targaryens. It's really
Yeah.
her ex. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. There was an unclear part that was something about him grilling her with questions about money being spent that amounted to, 3.6 lakh rupees. Wow, I forget what that was in Canadian or anything that I could interpret, but
Some
Selena,
amount, who knows?
some amount,
Less than
thousands
eight
of
thousand
dollars.
dollars. If five
Yeah.
equals eight, then 3 point something is less than eight.
Listen, I don't even know who the money is going to. The whole thing was
Mm.
very confusing. It was to be spent on someone, though, because Selena said it was for gyms, acting classes, and clothes. So I was like, is this for him before he starts another campaign? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
And still,
So,
it's
so
her money. Like, who the fuck are you?
I think
Like,
it is her money. Yeah, I believe
yeah.
so. And that it does seem like that was a prevailing theory was that
Mm.
he's a younger husband that was kind of after her money and her property and stuff.
Yeah, why else would you care if she's spending it at the gym and clothes and shit?
Yes. Right, right.
It's not like hotel rooms and strip clubs. Like, the
Yeah.
fuck?
I'm still just not sure who she's giving the money to. But anyway, yeah, exactly. Then he is going to be triggered, you'll see, because Selena starts renting out her bungalow to host parties for 25,000 rupees a night. So,
Okay, so she's
uh-oh.
Airbnb-ing her place before it's cool.
Sure. It's her place. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He should be all for that. Her making more money.
Right? Nope. He
Jeez.
doesn't think it's fitting for them as religious people to use their home for liquor, sex, and women. Remember, he's like a strict
Mm, I keep
Muslim.
forgetting that, yeah.
I know. I forget that that's a big religion in India. Because I always think, like, I don't know, Buddhist and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he objects to Layla's relationship with a man named Sonu. Sonu? I don't know. But Talk says in September 2010, Sanu offered to take Layla and her family to Dubai, and he started to arrange travel visas for them. Then Talk is even more triggered when he sees Selena's ex Asif in the family home again. Oh no, her exes
Yeah.
that have been around long before you.
Yeah. He's kind of the weird one. Like, I would get it if,
Mm-hmm.
like, it was her first husband, because it looks like he's the one that, like, all the kids are, like, the four kids are all her first husbands. So I
Yeah, I
get why,
believe
like,
so.
he would
Yeah.
be around the house or something like that to see the kids, but the
Sure.
second husband, I mean, kind of like, what business does he have? Really?
I guess. Yeah, like from this guy's point of view. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he basically thought he should be the man and the head of the family and the household. I'm like, even though he just practically joined it by bullying his way into it or by force.
Yeah.
Because he, like, kind of wanted to get
And
married.
you're the same age as her children, so, like, fuck right off.
Kinda. Yeah. Property is very valuable there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So something said by February, the other thing I listened to December, but apparently he had started planning this murder with his friend Shakir. Like,
Wow.
it was not just spur of the moment. He actually told Selena that there was a water shortage, and that's why he had to dig a pit for underground water storage.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah, that's why he dug that big pit, and it was like 8 foot by 8 foot. That was 6 feet deep.
Jesus.
Gross. Yeah, he's so blatant. And on February 2nd, he told Selena that they should have a farewell party since they were about to, like, move and live separately from him. So,
Jesus. Gordo brought me a bottle cap. And then he dropped it, and now it's in a place neither of us can reach.
it's like when Fenwick
Sad
puts his
puppy.
bone on his legs, or then, yeah, he drops it down the stairs. You're like, no. Um, I believe on February 7th, Selena and this was a cousin, Reshma, and sorry, the names are confusing because they were a little confusingly reported, but
Mm-hmm.
they're all family members, yeah. And so these ones got to Layla's apartment, and then Talk sees Asif there, and shocker, he ends up furious. He still wants to go with them to the party, he says, but he wants to rest there for the night and continue the drive to the farmhouse the next day. He was tired.
Mm-hmm.
So Layla and the other family members, Imran and Zara and Asmina, and I believe all those three are her actual siblings. So one of the news videos I watched did have a picture with her younger sisters, and they were like all super gorgeous, just like her with those like super blue eyes and stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw the picture of them together.
Yeah, I think there's one at least that shows some of them,
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
just like, oh wow. Not that, of course, it would matter one way or another what they look like, but it's still just like the whole family. Yeah,
Yeah, the one I'm looking at. I think she's in the
yeah,
bottom in the middle, and then her older sister, and then the twins.
right.
Gordon? Gorgeous being a shit.
Gotta. Um, so yeah, they go in one car one day, and the next day, Selena, Talk, and Tali followed in the second vehicle. And that day was the party. Everything was going well, and everything was great. And that night, around 1 a.m., was when the argument erupts with Talk yelling at Selena for making SC her power of attorney, because he believed he deserved to have the Oshiwara Igatpuri property given to him for all the work he did for the family.
Oh my god. Get over yourself.
Oh, yeah. He thinks he's entitled to one of their properties. So he smashed Selena over the head with a blunt object, possibly a pipe, one thing said. Imran and Zara rushed down to see what the commotion was about, and that's when Talk, and apparently his friend there, Shakir Hussein, brutally killed them both for witnessing the crime.
Jeez.
I don't know why he invited them all for the barbecue unless he thought he was going to have to kill them all. It's like, what were you thinking?
Yeah, that had to have been the plan.
Right?
Like,
It's very
for
like, what?
him and his friend to literally take out everybody in one shot.
Yeah. And he's just like one little guy, too. When I finally did see there was a picture of him, I was like, ugh, you're pathetic.
Yeah. Sad little man.
Yeah. It's so true, because, like, it was apparently just followed by the rest of them coming down, including Layla, Asmina, and Tali. Again, all were, like, siblings, or one was, I believe, a cousin of her. They were just coming downstairs to see what was going on, and they meet the very same fate, where they're just brutally murdered.
Jeez.
Yeah. Around 3:30 a.m., they clean up the blood and they destroy all the phones and the SIM cards. Sure. Now they're being smart, I guess, maybe. Around 6 a.m., Talk recruited some accomplices to drive the two family vehicles that were currently parked at the farmhouse down to Kashmir to get them away from the house. We happen to seemingly have their names, which was Mahbub Sheikh and Johnny Girder. It couldn't be more different, right?
Yeah.
And apparently they were paid 15,000 rupees each to do it.
Wow.
So by 8 a.m., they were on their way back to Layla's apartment to try and retrieve her cats from her apartment.
No!
Yes, to avoid suspicion. They didn't want the cats going unfed, I guess, roaming around, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it said they weren't able to round them all up, though. Like, that one source said they came back from her apartment empty-handed, basically. And I was like, okay.
How many cats did she have?
I don't know! It was so unclear.
If you can't round up all the cats. I mean...
Literally, one source said that he found one near the farmhouse, but that was all I could find.
So maybe they're, like, outdoor cats and couldn't find them, that's why.
Maybe. Or smart enough to get away when an evil person comes to the house.
Yeah. I mean, animals got intuition. They can tell if...
Oh, yeah. Sharper than ours, usually, because they have to use it every day. In such a way. So yeah, once Talk and Shakir got to Kashmir, he paid Shakir 50,000 rupees and some gold pieces for his part in the murders. Talk said he went to a hotel near Nehru Market to hide out, and the police then found one of the vehicles, which was a Jeep Scorpion. And then this part was very strange to me, but the source said that Talk then called his wife, Yasmin, to stay with him for another 2 weeks.
What?
I guess sometimes Islam allows polygamy from my quick reading, but it's definitely not encouraged, so I don't know.
Now I hate him just a little bit more. Like, what the fuck?
What?
I said now I hate him just a little bit more. Like,
I know. Literally only one article talked about her, and I was just like, I have no idea what's going on now.
yeah.
But, like, it said that he told his wife that he was going to his uncle's place in Nepal, and she should not tell anybody as there was a problem. I assume meaning...
Oh, love the lack of information. Like...
Don't tell anybody there's any problems. Yeah.
Yeah. I will not elaborate. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, and then I had to put in, like, a quick Google reading I did suggested, yeah, polygamy is not encouraged in Islam, but does happen sometimes, and oh gosh, one article said that the only condition for permission to marry again was that the husband was able to provide equally to both wives. I think maybe it was intended more for, like, times when, say, there was a wife of some orphan children or something like that, and it was better for everyone, for maybe one man to, if he could provide for them both, to take the, you know what I mean? I think it was for special circumstances. Yeah.
Sounds like he's not providing for anybody. He's just like out there murdering everybody in this family.
Well, exactly.
Wow.
And then he did apparently go to Nepal, where he says he got scared when he heard the news report about the missing actress and that, you know, her car had been found, Layla's car.
How would you, like, it's a fucking famous family. It's a Bollywood family. You murder, like, 6 people. You don't think anybody's gonna have questions? You're gonna be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's clearly an idiot.
Wow. They all disappeared the same day? Oh, nothing sinister happened at all.
Oh, I know. He said he had planned to sell the cars, but he was basically, I think, trying to wait until they were less hot. So much heat on them, man.
Wow.
He said the only reason the police were after him was seeing video clips of his election campaign in Layla's apartment. I don't know.
And because you're married to the victim.
Yeah, right.
Fuck. Maybe that's why you're involved.
Maybe.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. So they eventually searched the farmhouse, which I think we kind of got to, and I did have 1 or 2 pictures of that one. It was a really nice property, which was cited as another reason. Yeah, or another motive, I guess.
Cool. It looks like it's up on, like, a hill.
Exactly. Like, they called it, like, on a cliff, basically, like, away from other, like, properties. Yeah, just up on its own. And they had also questioned, the police had also questioned Sanu, that love interest of Layla's. His alias is Wafi Khan, who told officials that he had been in love with Layla, but his father did not approve of her, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, his father had a problem with his son spending all his money, apparently, on Layla, and also their 7-year age difference. Gasp.
Okay. And how old's Layla?
I don't know, like 30?
Oh, fuck that. So stupid.
So, like, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure me and Kelsey have, like, 7 years between us. I never even give it another thought.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Yeah. But they were also interested in him because Fun fact, or you actually got married on February 12th, 2011, which apparently was like the day after the murders when you thought about it, which was kind of weird.
Who got married
Uh,
then?
Sanu, the love interest of Layla, who like
Mm.
he wanted to marry her, and I don't know. It said that like his dad didn't approve, but then it was kind of weird how he got married the day after they reportedly got murdered, and then his dad advised him to flee town because they heard Layla was missing, and he thought, "Oh my God, you're gonna get implicated because you were involved with her."
Weird.
Yeah. So it's probably not even important, but the police were like, "This was kind of odd. Can like they just wanted to
Yeah.
exclude him." Yeah. um, but yeah, there was definitely other things that came up, conspiracy theory maybe wise, politically wise. Some sources said that Tak was a suspected Lashkar Taiba member, which was a militant Islamist organization operating against India in Pakistan, which is where Layla was actually born, if you remember
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan. Yeah. Apparently, the Lashkar-e Taiba, or however you say it, is literally translated to Army of God, or Army of the Righteous, or Army of the Pure.
Wow.
They don't think much of themselves, do they?
No.
So yeah, this is something that the organization operating against India, as it said. So yeah, it just kind of got weirdly cryptic. Where I was like, well, what the hell? And that organization it was founded by Hafiz Saeed Abdullah Azam and several other Islamist mujahideen. Yes, this is a word. With funding from Osama bin Laden during the Soviet Afghan War.
Wow.
Um, yeah, the organization is allegedly part of Operation Tupac and trained and funded by the Pakistan Army and the Inter-Services Intelligence. That was a quote from good old Wikipedia. Because I was like, what the fuck? And also, what the fuck? Like, there was an operation which Operation Tupac was a code name of an ongoing military intelligence contingency program from or beginning in the 80s, whose main purpose was to provide covert support to anti-India separatists and militants in Indian administered Kashmir. There was a lot going on, I
Yeah.
guess, politically between Pakistan and India and all this shit. And one website even said that Layla was part of terrorist groups. That this was completely different everything else I'd read. They said she was married to a guy named Munir Khan, a member of the Bangladeshi terror outfit. Like, I
What?
was like, oh my God. I know, I was like, I have to include this, but it's suspected that she had ties with the terror group that we just talked about, the Lashkar-e Taiba. Um, and that she was even suspected of using her SUV to ferry explosives for a bomb blast at the Delhi High Court in September 2011. Oh, geez, that's 9/11. Um,
But wasn't
she
she murdered before that? In February of that year?
Well, yes, that's just it. The skeletons were found in July. That's why it was weird that only one article I read had this allegation
Hmm.
about her being part of like terrorist groups and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. It's not solved, so we'll just skip to like the next I had was the June of 2021. An article said the case was ongoing because 41 witnesses have been deposed so far, and it's just still pending.
How
Which is
have
crazy.
how did they not charge him though?
I think it's because it's slogging its way through the courts. He had this appeal or an application to continue the trial under the same judge. This was the most recent article in 2021, because his judge was recently transferred to hear civil matters. Maybe because he just couldn't be on that case anymore for his mental health. No, I don't know.
But I don't want to look at this man anymore.
Right? But Talk's lawyer argued that it will prolong the case to switch the judges, but in the meantime, he still remains in custody, so, like, he hasn't been let out, at least.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yes, yes. And I thought it was ironic to note the plot of the movie, because, like I said, it was called, Wafa, a deadly murder story, or a deadly love story, is what the movie she was in was called. You can, like, go and look it up. I watched the trailer on YouTube, and you can apparently watch the whole thing on YouTube if you really want to. But to end it all, here's a quote from the movie on YouTube. Rajesh Khanna, the greatest living legend and the real and only superstar of Indian cinema. That was her co-star. And the plot, a rich old man gets married to a young air stewardess. The marriage starts to break down as it becomes clear that the wife is after his money and gets involved in extramarital relationships. Superstar Rajesh Khanna acting in Wafa is very superb and fantastic, which released today.
Wow.
End quote.
That's so weird.
But it was weird how it ended up being both her and that star's final movie, because he died of his illness not long after.
And he had just gotten married? Or that was a different dude? That's also named Wafa.
Oh, that was the different dude. That was, yeah. That was
okay.
the guy who wanted to marry Layla. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them have the same or similar last name, which is confusing.
Okay.
But yeah, this guy was a beloved actor, and some people were like, "Oh, he sold out in this movie." I was reading some of the, like, comments, but also he was, like, getting pretty old, and then he got sick, and so it ended up being, like, his last movie too, which was
and
pretty
if people
creepy.
sell out, like, who cares? Oh my god.
Well, let them do what they want. As long as they're taking care of their mental health or doing what they can that way, like, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, who cares?
Nobody.
I feel
I heard
bad.
they were gonna redo. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I feel bad for, like, I guess her two remaining ex-husbands that, like, all the kids are all gone. She was killed, and other family members.
Know.
Like,
this
all
one was
because
so
of
brutal.
this dude.
Yeah, and he's just a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Who was just, like, greedy, basically. Either he wanted their property, a lot of things speculated, or, like it said, it was like, oh no, I'm not head of this family. Like I said, that I basically just joined. It was like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
You have to earn your place in life.
Less than a year together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get over it.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I did hear they are gonna redo the Crow movie, and, like, people were like, oh, are they really? And then I was like, yeah, really, I'm part of that camp. Are they really?
I don't know. I don't think they need to keep remaking movies.
No, they really don't. And that's, like, just a greed thing.
Just have an original thought, or, like,
right?
make the same movie and just put new characters' names in it. I don't care. Like, just do something.
Oh, well, yeah. Adapt something new if you have to.
Right?
Because if it's a book, most people will have never read it. People don't read books anymore. We're one of the few.
Yeah, there's plenty of books out there that would make amazing movies. If you can't think of something like that, then just adapt a book. Like, come
That's how I know
on.
I'm reading a good book. I'm like, damn, I could see this as a really good scene in a movie. I'm like, yeah, this is a
Yeah.
good book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wild. That was crazy. I'm happy I have this flowchart. It says family affair, and it's like shows Selena
I'll
on
have to
top and the
post it.
husbands, and then it's got an arm going down. It has the kids, the pictures of them, and little blurbs.
It's very helpful.
Yeah, I've been staring at it the whole time, going, "This sad little man in the on the far right here." Oh,
Pathetic.
yeah. Oh,
Well, screw him. Next time we're going to talk about some badasses from Greek mythology.
yes. I'm so excited.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I really love Greek mythology. We did some stuff about it when I was in middle school. We talked about the play. We
Okay.
kind of, or those like one scene things we did. And then
Yeah.
he looked up and did some like assignment about it. But yeah, I love Greek mythology and there's a lot of it. So,
Well, right. It's something that you can, like, maybe study in university if you take
oh yeah.
ancient histories and antiquities and that. And it's like, well, goddamn, it does sound interesting, but things are always more interesting when you're looking them up on your own and not because you have to for a class.
Yes, absolutely.
We'll focus
Yeah.
on the fun shit.
Yeah. But should be a really good episode next week.
I agree. I'm excited. We'll catch you
Mm-hmm.
then.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
All right. Keep it cryptic. Oh, now I gotta burp. Ooh.
This has been Castles and Cryptids. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, Breaker, Pocket Cast, and our YouTube channel. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Reddit. On our website, you can listen to all of our episodes as well as view pictures for each of our segments. Check out our Patreon page to view all of our tiers and become a Patreon supporter today to unlock monthly bonus episodes and behind the scenes content. We are working on an Ask Us Anything. You can submit questions by social media or by email at castlesandcryptids@gmail.com. Do you have a spooky ghost story, a creepy cryptid sighting, or a thrilling true crime tale you would like to share and have us include in a future episode? Send us your listener story by social media or by email. Please include the name that you would like mentioned. Our music is by Kobe Fair. Our logo and artwork is by Antonio Garcia. Thanks for listening.